Hello, welcome to my channel. My name's Erin if you're new here. Well, I was gonna make my bed before starting this video, but I saw her curled up in these blankets and she's so cute I didn't want to disturb her peace. So Nala's just gonna be in the back of this video, chilling. For today's video, I'm gonna be walking you guys through my top 5 exercises that have helped me develop my glutes in the past year. So I'll throw up a couple before and after pictures here. Oh, so now you're leaving. Are you kidding me? No, stay in the video. Oh. So I'm going to be voicing over the 5 main exercises that have helped me, breaking them down, how to do them properly, giving some form cues, and just some tips and tricks. But before I dive into the exercises, I wanted to talk about a couple of things that may be holding you back if you feel like you're already doing these things and you're not noticing any progress. And the first thing is going to be eating properly. So if you're eating in an extreme deficit, you aren't getting enough protein, you're not fueling your body, you're not going to notice growth in any of your muscles. So if you really want to grow your legs, grow your glutes, you're going to have to eat at least at maintenance, if not in a surplus, to put on some size. Unfortunately, you can't be in a deficit and put on large amounts of muscle. It's just not how that works. So pick one or the other and really hone in on that goal. The second thing I notice when people aren't making progress is they're not implementing progressive overload, meaning when they're doing a weight, they just do that weight for several weeks and don't try and push themselves and add more weight. So if I've been doing my squats with 50 pounds for the past 10 weeks and that feels comfortable and I'm not adding weight, then I'm doing something wrong. So anytime you feel like you're comfortable with your weight, make sure you're pushing yourself and increasing that weight. That way I can put on size and muscle. So I just kind of wanted to give that as a disclaimer before I jump into the video. But before that, I have one really super exciting announcement. So as most of you know, I have been doing personal training at a commercial gym for the past year and a half, and I've been working at that gym for the past 3 years. In the new year, I am super excited to announce that I have launched my own coaching. So you can now work with me online and in person. I'm taking lifestyle clients at the moment, no coaching clients yet. Whether you're looking just for workout programs, online coaching calls, nutrition plans, I do have something for you. So I'm going to link the website down below. If you fill out the contact form on my website, I can do a free consultation call with you. You can also DM me on Instagram to set up a call. You will have access to all of these workouts on an app. You'll be able to submit progress photos and I'll be able to give you video assessment. You'll get custom nutrition information and meal plans. In your workouts, it'll walk you through exactly what to do. So you'll get the sets, reps, weights, and even the rest time programmed in. It even will connect with your watch and MyFitnessPal. So I'm super excited to help you guys reach your goals this year. Again, I'll leave the link to the website below. You can DM me for a free consultation call or fill out that contact form on the website. So yeah, with that being said, let's hop into the exercises. Okay, getting started, my first exercise on the list is a barbell back squat. This exercise is good not just for glute growth, but for leg growth in general. When I set up for this, I keep the bar right on my traps. I avoid keeping it on my neck, and I'm slightly hinged forward. I position my feet just outside of my shoulders. When you have a more narrow stance, it's going to target your quads more than your glutes. From there, I sink all of my weight into my heels. You want to avoid keeping weight in your toes. By keeping most of the weight in my heels, I'm able to reach that parallel, if not deeper position. And when I'm at the bottom of this squat, I'm making sure that my chest is high and that my spine is neutral and I'm not tucking or arching my pelvis. It's a common misconception that you need to do this squeeze when you're at the top of the squat here, but that's actually wrong. I want to keep the most tension that I possibly can on my glutes, so I'm actually going to keep a relaxed position at the top. That way the glutes are under tension the entire time I'm squatting. Some things that have helped me with my squat form are keeping a nice tight brace, keeping my toes flexed towards the ceiling, and then keeping a nice tight position with my scapula as well. The next major exercise that has helped me with glute growth is a glute bridge or hip thrust. And I actually prefer using a machine setup. This one is a booty builder, and I like this one a lot because it elevates your feet, which allows me to get more of a stretch at the bottom, in turn putting more tension on my glutes. I also like the machine better because it takes out a lot of the setup required in a barbell hip thrust. A common mistake I see people make here is they put their feet way too high up on the platform, and that's where you're going to feel your hamstrings a lot more than your glutes. So I'm putting my feet pretty close to the bottom, as you can see there. When I do these, I think about my hip and my shoulder staying in one line and my chin staying tucked in. A lot of time I see people let their core go and they use their back to do the movement. This is going to give you a lot of low back pain, and you probably will only feel it in your back. So instead, I'm keeping my core tight and keeping my torso stiff like a board. That way I can feel it in my glutes and not my low back. Next on my list is RDLs, and this is my personal favorite exercise for glute growth. It takes a lot of practice to get the form right, but once you do, this exercise is super effective. Here you can see me putting on grips. I highly recommend investing in a pair of Credo bands, Versa grips, whatever, to help you hold on to the weights. If you're letting your grip be a limitation to how much weight you can lift, that's just progress you're taking away from your glutes. So these are in my Amazon storefront, so I'll put the link to that in the description. When I set up for my RDLs, I'm making sure that I'm pulling my shoulders back, my core is tight, and I'm hinged forward slightly. My feet are hip distance apart here. The first thing I think about when I do these is flexing my toes up towards the ceiling. This is ensuring that all of my weight is going to be back in my heels. When my weight is too far forward, this is what it looks like, and this is going to put a lot of unnecessary tension on my low back. So by keeping my toes up, I'm keeping that tension off of my low back. The second thing I'm thinking about is shaving my legs. That's going to keep the dumbbells nice and close to my body. Last thing I'm going to think about is pushing a car door behind me shut with my butt. That is going to ensure that my weight is staying far enough back and that I don't start to feel this in my hamstrings. A lot of the time when I see people do this wrong, another thing they do is they come way too far down. That is going to make me feel it in my hamstrings as well. So here we would just want to keep the range of motion nice and small, coming right above my knees and then right below my knees. The last mistake I see people make here is the same thing I talked about on squats, just giving that squeeze at the top, taking tension away from the glutes. So avoid this mistake as well. For Bulgarian split squats, I'm also using these same grips. Same reason as before, I just don't want my grip limiting the amount of weight that I could use. When I set up my feet here, I use 2 of my foot's length to measure the distance I should be away from the platform. Then I elevate my back foot on a surface 6 to 12 inches off of the ground. Hold the dumbbell in the opposite hand of the standing leg. That's going to ensure balance. I want my weight to be far forward enough that I could lift up my back leg at any time. You can see here that I'm too far back and too much weight is on the back leg, and that's when you're going to start feeling it in your quad more than your glute. So I'm really making sure that I'm leaned slightly forward and that all of my weight is over that front leg the entire time, and the back leg is really just there for stabilization. If you feel split squats overly in your quad, another thing you could be doing is standing way too far away and staying lean too far upright. Cable kickbacks have been one of my favorite exercises for glutes recently, and these can be really effective if you feel like you're growing your lower glutes but have a difficult time growing the upper glute. So when you set up for these, you actually want to attach the foot that's farthest away from the cable tower. Then I'm going to take my standing leg and step pretty far behind myself. That way my front leg has lots of room to cross over. And when I allow that foot to come in front and get that stretch before the contraction, I'm putting more tension on the muscle. Here I'm staying slightly hinged forward, allowing that leg to cross over in front of me, and then keeping my hip down and sending it back. I don't want to stay standing too far upright, or that cable is just going to scrape my shin. So I'm thinking about hinging forward and really squeezing that glute medius. You want to think about your leg going backward in a 45-degree angle. Don't mind me just kicking over the trash can at the gym. A lot of time here I see people trying to pick their hip up and they tilt their whole body. We don't want to do that because it's not isolating the glute. So I'm really thinking about pushing my hip down, and the leg is the only thing that's moving. Nothing in my torso is moving. Here's what that looks like from the back. You can see how far I'm really letting my front leg come in front of the back leg. That way the working glute can get a really good stretch before it does the contraction. And I've really been liking supersetting these. So for the superset, I just turn my body to face the cable tower and I kick directly back. You can see here I'm also stepped pretty far back from the cable tower. That way I can allow the working leg to come in front and get that full stretch. These are going to be a really good exercise for the glute maximus, while the other ones were really good for the glute medius. And I want to stay lean forward. A lot of time I see people arching their back. We don't want to do this either. We want to keep our low backs healthy as possible. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that was helpful and that you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try to stay on the weekly uploads. I'm thinking about changing my upload day from Sunday to Monday. So let me know what you guys think about a Monday upload instead of a Sunday upload. I saw a comment last week that said you guys want another week of workouts, and so I will be uploading that hopefully next week. But keep leaving the video suggestions, it helps me a lot. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, follow me on all my other social media, which will be linked below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.